Hey, today we're going to go over creating and managing groups in NewPanda. So to get started, we're going to hover over the Contacts drop-down menu and choose Contacts. Right, and a couple notes I want to give you as we get started. To view your current groups, you can use the Filter by Groups and More drop-down menu. You'll see at the top of the groups list there are going to be several groups that are created by our system. And they might include a subscription real estate newsletter group or a mobile alerts group or a market alerts group, etc., etc. And so those are groups that are automatically created by our system, and that our system needs to keep track of certain things for CAN spam requirements and other reasons. So some of those groups that you see at the top, they're not going to be editable or deletable by you, okay? So once you get to the bottom of the system created groups list, then you'll be able to see any groups that you have created or that you are going to be able to edit or manage or work with, okay? So the first thing that I want to show you is how to filter by groups. And you can actually filter by one group, or you can filter for several groups at a time if you want. And I will let you know. So we're simply going to select the group or groups we want and say apply filters. Now when you select more than one group here, you're going to be displaying all of the contacts that live in any of the groups. Okay, so I've filtered for 3 groups and I'm showing 15 contacts. This does not mean that these contacts live in all 3 groups, although some of them may. It simply means that each contact that's displayed lives in at least one of these groups. We can test that by unselecting a group, and then you'll see that your results will change. Okay, whenever you're done working with a group or a filter or anything like that, you want to be sure to hit your clear filters button, because if you log out of NewPanda with groups filtered or something like that, when you come back in, that's still going to be there. So just remember to clear your filters. All right, the next thing that I want to show you how to do is to simply create a new group. And to do that, over on the left in the Groups section, in the Create New Group field, we're simply going to stick our cursor in there, and we are going to add our new group name. We're going to add a group called Bike Club. We're simply going to click the Add button. System refreshes, and now that group name has been added. Okay. I'm also going to show you how to delete a group name. Now, to delete a group name, you're going to come back over here into your Edit Groups. And let's say that we really don't want the Bike Club group anymore. And we don't need to manage the contacts that are in that group first, like let's say to move them to a different group. So you're simply going to select the group that you no longer want, and you're going to say delete selected groups, and that'll simply remove that group name. It does not remove the contacts that are in the group. So if you're trying to delete contacts that are in a group, you want to filter for that group first and delete the contacts from within the group. I'll show you how to do that really quickly, okay? So let's say we haven't put anybody in our Bike Club group, but let's say that we want to delete this Avalon, the contacts that live in the Avalon Group Corp. We don't want those contacts anymore. We have no reason to stay in contact with them anymore. We're going to filter, we're going to apply filter, we're going to see all the contacts that are in the group. So we're going to select all of the contacts, because when you say select all and you've got a filter, it'll only select the filtered contacts. Now it's going to say 5 of 39 contacts are selected, choose an action, okay? And to delete those contacts, we're simply going to click the delete button. And you'll get a system like a warning that says, hey, are you sure that you want to remove these contacts? And then you're going to say yes, okay? But I actually don't want to delete these contacts. So I'm going to say none here to unselect them, okay? All right, so that's how you delete contacts that are in a group. All right, so now let's say we do want to work with our Bike Club group that we just made, though we need to add some contacts to that, right? So what we're going to do, there's a couple of different ways that you can do it. You can simply hunt through your contact list and select contacts this way. You can paginate, or you can filter, search for some kind of criteria, like you wanted all your AOL contacts to be in the bike group, or whatever other kind of, maybe that work for a certain company to be in that group, right? And the other thing that you could do is you could search for contacts that are already in a different group. Like, let's say that for whatever reason we wanted to put all of our Avalon Group Corporation contacts into the bike club group. So we're going to go ahead and apply that filter. Okay, so now we've got our Avalon group. We're going to select all the contacts. And again, however you select the contacts at this point, once they're selected, you're going to, or filtered, you're going to say select all. You're going to go to groups and subscriptions, and you're going to say bike club, and you're going to say add to groups. Now you could do the same thing with removing contacts from a group. Okay, let's pretend like, well, first of all, we do need some contacts in this group, so we're going to add them. Now I see 5 contacts have been added to the group. I'm going to clear that filter. All right, now let's say that you want to, you need some exclusive groups. So we want to make sure that our A+ group does not live in the buyer group. Okay, so those are 2 separate groups, and we want to be sure that that people that are in the buyers group are not getting communications that we're sending to the A+ group. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to select the buyers group, and so we can see all the contacts in there. In this case I just have 1, but that's fine. So we're going to select all of the contacts. Remember, this is our buyers group. Now we're going to come over here to our groups and subscriptions. We're going to select the A+ group, and we're going to say remove from groups. And that way, if Fanny is in the A+ group, she will be removed. Okay? Right, and the same thing happens now when you're adding contacts to a group and you're not sure if a certain contact is in a group. Let's say that we're selecting these 3 contacts. We want to add them to the A+ group, but we're not sure if they're already in the group. That's perfectly fine, because you can't, there's only 1 contact record for each contact that you have here. So they can only really be in a group 1 time. So if you hit add to groups and they're already in the group, it doesn't create another contact record. It won't send additional emails to them. Okay, it'll just make sure that those contacts are in the group that you want. So that is not a problem. Okay. All right, the next thing that I want to show you is how to change a group name. Now let's say that we have this group, the Avalon Group Corporation, but they got bought out by another company, and we need to change the group name because we need to look them up under their new group name. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to come back over to our Edit Groups section, and next to the left of each group name, there's a little edit icon. It looks like a little pencil on a pad of paper. You're going to click that icon, and it's going to bring up the edit group name dialog box, and your cursor's already blinking in that group. And what I like to do is I like to press my Control key and the A key at the same time. Control A. That selects all the text in the group. And so I'm lazy and I don't have to select it all manually. So I am going to just type in my new group name and say OK. System will refresh, scroll down here, and we're going to see that the Avalon Group Corporation has now been replaced with the Brookstone Corporation. And that's a video on how to add and manage groups in NewPanda.